Hey Bob, it's Collin Smith over at Camelback Lincoln. Just doing a quick walk around video of the 2020 Lincoln Aviator Reserve I that we have here in our lot for you. We'll do a walk around of the vehicle. Let me zoom out. It's a little wet right now. Just got all the dust cleaned up off of it. Beautiful car. Lincoln and Ford did a great job with this model. Personally, a big fan of it. All right, I'm gonna start with the lift gate on here. You have 4 different ways you can open this. You got the button that's located here. There's a button inside the car by the driver's wheel or the steering wheel. You got a button on your key fob, or you can even kick under to open it. So that's pretty cool. Let me open it real quick. And then back here, you do have your floor mats. Under this, you have storage. And then if you pull this handle up, your spare tire is under here, but hopefully you'll never have to use that because you do get lifetime roadside assistance, complimentary from Lincoln. So if you have AAA or anything, you don't need that anymore. And also you got a 12-volt plug-in, and then these buttons here are to fold up and down your 3rd row. And you do have the headrests, of course. Drop those. Pretty neat. And if you park in a garage or undercover, you can manually adjust however high you want the lift gate to open to. You hold down this button here for about 5 seconds till you hear a beep inside. And then every time it'll open, it'll go to that set height until you readjust it again and hold down that button. So let's close that. And you do have the backup camera there. You got parking sensors. You actually have parking sensors all the way around the car. It does have the 360 camera. And then in the back, you do have, this one does have the luxury package, which gives you the upgraded seats that are just 30 ways, your upgraded sound system that has, I think it's like 24 different speakers, and then you get rear door sunshades. Let me lift up the chair. And now up here, you have all your controls for the 2nd row. Let me turn down the radio real quick. But you have all the controls for your 2nd row. You got the heated and cooled seats. You got your climate control, audio control, and then just your settings. You can turn on and off the display, adjust the brightness, or put it on the calm screen. And below you do have a AC power outlet, and then a couple USB plug-ins. In this middle seat here, you have an armrest, and then you got cup holders that pop out. And these seats do fold down flat if you ever want to make a flat surface, if you're putting anything in the cargo space. And then you do have the button up top, slide it forward, and that's how you get in the back. You do have nitrogen filled tires on here. Nitrogen is better than regular air. The pressure does not fluctuate as much in extreme temperatures, or not even extreme, and just heat or cold. You have a lower chance of having a blowout, and you can get nitrogen at any dealership now, tire shops, even Costco, Sam's Club, they all offer it. And on this, you also see, I don't know if you can actually see that, but you do have door edge guards along each door to kind of protect your paint on there. And let's get in here. You got your seat controls on your door. It's in the shape of the seat. So these two right here, you can, I don't know if you can see that, adjust, one side at a time if you got longer or shorter legs. Slide it back and forth, up and down with this button here. And this part is for your back, moving up and down. And then you can see you have a button inside of it, which will actually push your shoulders forward or back. So if the headrest, let me see if I can show you. Let me just get the seat forward. So if your headrest is too far forward and it feels like it's pushing your head, you can push out your shoulders like that and it feels a lot more comfortable on your head. And then your headrest does adjust back and forth, up and down. These seats literally have 30 different ways you can adjust them. It's crazy. That's not even all the adjustments you can do. I'll show you that here in a second. Getting into the vehicle, turn down the air real quick. You got your USB plugins in here, cup holders in here. You have your electronic parking brake now. This is just a flip of a switch. Then you have your drive modes knob. I'll show you this real quick. You got your drive modes. Let me see if I can zoom. So you got normal, conserve, which is your eco mode. Excite is your sport mode. It does accelerate faster. Your steering gets tighter. It gives you a more sporty feel. And the other direction, you do have slippery conditions and then deep conditions. And you can switch on the fly as you're driving along. You don't need to be stopped or anything like that. And that's with this knob here. Moving up, you got your climate controls, heated and cooled seats on driver and passenger side. Heated steering wheel. You got all your, this is these knobs here are for your temperature. You actually have quad climate control in here, so you can do dual climate up front, so different temperature and fan speeds for driver and passenger. And then in the back, you can have a different temperature and fan speed for the second and third row, which is pretty neat. And then right here, this is your fan speed knob. And then inside you have two buttons. You got your rear controls, so you can adjust it. This button here will link the two to have the same temperature and fan speed. And then you got the rear lock, so if you have kids. Sorry about that, my video cut out, the boss calling me. Anyways, what I was saying, you could lock your rear climate control if you got kids or grandkids sitting in the back and you don't want them messing with the climate. You can also lock it for your volume and radio, so they're not changing the radio or songs on you. And now moving up, you do have your standard volume settings here. You got your piano key shift, and then in between your two vents below the screen, you have three buttons. You got your camera, so it'll give you the front facing with a 360-degree bird's eye view. That icon there is to turn on and off your parking sensors. And then up in this corner, you can switch the views. This is the front facing. And then it even got a 180-degree split view, so if you're pulling out of a driveway with blind spots on both sides, you can actually see what's coming down the road or sidewalk without, creeping out and, having your front end in the road or blocking the sidewalk on there. And you can do all the same views with your reverse camera as well. Now the button next to this is your park assist. You got two options on here. Navigate to parking will show you all the parking garages in the select cities. Now active park assist, this car will parallel park for you. It will back into a spot for you or take you out of parallel parking, whichever one you choose. Whatever side you have the blinker on, it'll be scanning for an open spot. It lets you know once it finds it, and then it's going to tell you to stop, put it in neutral, and then hold down this button here. So as you're doing that, your feet are off the brakes or any of the pedals. Your hands are off the steering wheel. This car is going to be doing all the steering, all the braking, all the excelling, and the gear shifting for you, as long as you're holding down this button here. As soon as you let go, it will stop. But it is a little nerve-wracking. Most people don't really use that feature too often, but it is very nice to have if you need to use it. And you also get your 360 camera with all the parking sensors with that package. And now this button here will take you to the three most frequently used driver assistance settings, and then you can hit additional and go through all your settings. And I'll just do this briefly because this video will be very long if I do a full demo. You got three different types of cruise control: normal, adaptive, and intelligent. Intelligent is just like adaptive, but it will take your camera up top and scan the speed limit signs and will adjust your speed accordingly. You can set it to go all the way, 20 miles above the speed limit or even under, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you don't even like using adaptive or intelligent, you can just leave it in normal cruise control. For your lane keeping, you got three modes: alert, aid, and then alert plus aid. Alert will give you an audible warning as well as vibrate your steering wheel that you're drifting out of your lane. Aid will actually recenter you without giving you that warning. You hardly even notice it. It applies a small amount of torque to your steering wheel and just keeps you centered. And then alert plus aid will do both, of course. Then you can adjust the intensity of the alert on there. And then for your pre-collision assist, this car does have active braking and evasive steering. Active braking will, of course, apply the brakes for you if you're about to hit an object. Evasive steering is pretty neat, where if you're about to hit an object and the car senses, hey, the lane next to us is open, it will actually assist you in switching lanes to avoid that collision. And then you got speed sign recognition, of course. You got your rear view camera options, blind spot, trailer blind spot. You got tow haul mode. You can, program up to 10 different trailers to this. You got trailer sway control, cross traffic alert, you even have a reverse brake assist. And then you got your driver alert system, auto start stop. This is the new feature that's been in all the new cars now. That's where you come to a stop and your engine cuts off to save on fuel and emissions if you're not using a bunch of power. If you don't like that feature, you just turn it off. And then you got auto hold. So if you turn that on, whenever you come to a complete stop while you're in drive, it's going to hold the vehicle for you until you hit the gas. And every time you come to a complete stop after that, while that's on, it will hold the vehicle, which is, nice and like a drive-through or, a red light or something like that. And then you got your traction control. Over here, you got more seat controls. You have 5 different adjustments here. The top 3 are for your lumbar. You'll have a little highlighted area. Oops. So this is your top lumbar, middle, and then your bottom lumbar. You got side support and then bottom side support to kind of make the seat hug you. And then you can do all the same with your passenger. And then you even have the massage. You got 5 different massage settings, and you can put on low, medium, or high. My personal opinion, my 2 favorite are the bottom 2, full recovery and relaxed recovery, where we'll do a full body one where it's your lower back and your bottom. This does make a big difference when you're, on a long car ride and it relieves pressure of parts of your body that usually ache. And now personal profiles, you got the 1, 2, and 3 memory setting on your door. It memorizes 60 different features from your, seat, your steering wheel, your mirrors, all your driver assistance settings, all your vehicle settings, including your ambient lighting that you have 7 different options to choose from, adjusting the brightness of. It saves that all. You can name the profile. You got valet mode, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, all complimentary, 911 assist, which is kind of like OnStar, very similar. And then this car does have automatic updates if you connect it to Wi-Fi, so you don't have to worry about bringing it to the dealership to update your navigation. No more CDs, no more SD cards. It's all through Wi-Fi. And then we'll go over to the first page. You got your driver assistance settings and your vehicle settings. So you probably noticed that it's no longer on your dash up front. They moved it to this screen, makes it a whole lot easier to adjust your vehicles. Adjust your settings, pardon me. And then in sound, this uses Quantum Logic 3D surround sound technology. This is the upgraded sound system, Revel Ultima, 24 different speakers. These are your settings for the Quantum Logic surround sound, stereo, audience, and on stage. On stage is like you're standing center stage, and the instruments are playing around you, giving you that 3D feel. Audience, like you're in the audience and the music's coming at you. And stereo is just standard stereo settings. And you have a sound demo here, which I can play for you while you're here. I don't know how well this quality will sound over my phone video camera, but I guess I'll try it. Crystal clear, crystal clear. Let me turn that back down. All right, and I'm almost done. You got your vehicle settings here as well. Your easy entry exit, your My Key, where you can program the car to recognize who you are by your key fob. You got your alarm system, and you can turn on the perimeter sensing alarm. Oops. You got your remote start settings. You can roll down the windows from your key fob. You have automatic rain sensing wipers. For your headlights, you got auto high beams, daytime running lights, welcome lighting. You can adjust all this to your own liking. You can program how the car locks itself. You got auto folding mirrors, so when you get out and lock the doors, your mirrors will automatically fold in. And then you got your door keypad code, where this is where you change it. It's a 5-digit code. And then the car's navigation, of course, just like using your smartphone. And if you don't like it, you just plug in your phone to the USB and use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, whichever you prefer. So you can use your phone's navigation up on this screen here. So you don't even need to look at your phone anymore. Moving over here, they kind of redid the steering wheel. You got your voice button up here now. You got your toggle switches. You know, pushing up is for your navigation. This is for your Bluetooth phone settings, audio sources, and then pushing down will take you to your settings. And then over here, you got volume controls. And then this button here, if I click this to turn on cruise control, these buttons will light up. And the buttons are actually on the back side. And then your left side, you set the speed. And then your right side is for your adaptive or intelligent cruise control settings. This bottom button here is to change, let me see if I can zoom in. Change the distance that your car is following. And it will always hold that distance, and you can use it in stop and go traffic. And the button right above that in the middle is for turning on and off the lane keeping, your lane centering, not the lane keeping system itself, just the lane centering. If you press that, the steering wheel will pop up. That's how you know it's on. If you want to turn on and off your lane keeping system, the entire system itself, you got a button on the tip of your turn signal right here. Then down here, you got your typical lighting controls for your headlights. You got your, regular standard door buttons here. You got your, adjusting the left mirror, right mirror, folding in your mirrors. And then this button here is basically like your child lock to lock from the windows from rolling down in the back. And it will also prevent a child from, pressing the button on accident and the door opening. So it'll turn on the child locks on the doors back there as well. I can go on and on and on about this. I'll show you the rest when you get here. Real quick, let me just show you the panoramic roof. It's probably got a bunch of water spots since I just washed it. Let me press it one more time. Goes all the way back to your second row. The front half is the part that opens, back half is fixed. All right, thank you so much. We'll see you later.